Hello everybody, Spectrum here again. This time we're going to talk about construction, government, and unemployment. Okay, alright, so real quick, just to keep everybody abreast, the question mark will take you to the wiki, and to see what products you produce, move your mouse horizontally into the product side. So construction, government, and employment don't have any products at this time, so hey, it's not a big deal. Okay, so let's go to construction. Now, this is the success of your colonies. Now, there are certain times that you do not want to grow your colony. For example, initially when you first start the game, you may want to build a 4-hull planet to be able to have shipyards so that you can be able to get a cheap ship in the very beginning of the game. But once past 4 or 5 hulls, you're going to need to grow that planet as quickly as you can. So you're going to want to get as many people into construction as you can. The shipyard here I had turned on from the last video, so I'm going to set this back to 0, and then that gets me to 79% is in construction. Now if I come over agriculture here, you can see down here at the bottom that I'm making 967 food, and I've got 935 consumed per hour, and I have 8,000 in stock. So if food in food stocks doesn't do you any good. So I would suggest right now for us to increase as much as we can into construction, and let's go to 2.5%. Now you're going to need to keep an eye on this planet because you'll run out of food stocks, but you can see we're still producing 690 and I've got 935. So I've got some time to burn this down. So what I would do in most cases to optimize this is, as best I could, I would take the food stocks, divide by 24, actually I would take consumption minus food per hour, and then that will give me the negative of that, and then find out how long using the food stocks could burn down. Now I would not recommend going below 500 food. I like to keep food stocks in place. Food stocks also are easily sold to the Guardians, and we haven't talked about the Guardians yet. So when you get to the video about the Guardians, go ahead and find out where they can buy food from you. So you could use that instead of making taxes at this point. That then takes us to government. Government has one job, and that is to keep peace and to provide you with taxes. Now, a planet has to have a minimum of 5% of the people in government. Now, and you can see down here, taxes per hour is 0. So if I take this to 10%, now you will see I'm getting 414 taxes per hour. Now, I come along with my ship and I tax the planet, and I use that money to buy goods at the Guardians, for example, or other players. I use that money to build my ship. I use that money to buy fighters from the Guardians. So there's quite a few things that you can do with the taxes that you collect from a planet. But by putting that 5%, that took out 5% out of construction. Now the maximum that you can have in taxes is 15%. So if I take that to 15%, you'll see that I'm getting 783 per hour now. So I would suggest that you only use government when you absolutely have to. Otherwise, run it at 5%. Put that extra 10% into construction, and maybe use food or something to make money from. So I'm going to put this back to 5%. All right, and then unemployment. These are the people in the jobs above that fall out and go into unemployment while they're waiting for a job. Now, if you just watch the basic industry, you'll notice that we were at 2.26%, and I was worried about this planet recovering. Now you can see it's suffering just a little bit because I don't have enough refinery robots here to keep up with the percentage of metal that's being produced by my workers. So we're suffering a little bit on one hand, but we're also, BI is building up because if you remember correctly, it was about 140. So we've gone down about 40 workers here. So these people also get paid, and they get paid 0.1 of a metal per hour. So there's a little bit of metal being drained off of the planet because of unemployment. So I can fix that by taking this to 2.33%, and now I have no unemployment. Everybody's working, and those people that were in unemployment are now in construction. So every worker that is in construction is going to build you your habitability rating. They're going to build you 86% of one house per year. So every single person that you can get into construction is what you want to do. So, and since I've got a whole lot of metal ore here again, oops, come here, go to mining, come down, take a look at your ore per hour, the metal stocks, and I don't have usage here. That would be a good thing to put. So we'll take a look at that as an enhancement to be able to know how much metal is being used every hour. So I would, since I have that much metal stock, I need to keep an eye on this planet. So I'm going to put 5% into mining, and that gets me another 5% into construction. And that's a lot more houses to be able to put people into that will help me build more stuff in the future. So there you go. There's construction, government, and unemployment.